and I need to make my own self a nonprofit.
So you can receive some grants.
Mothers are the queens of the castle, but let's be real. It's not all ball gowns and glass slippers.
On this podcast, we're giving you a peek behind the throne at the privilege and responsibility of wearing the crown. My name is Helen Hope Kimbrough, and I'm a proud wife and mom of 2 adult sons.
And I'm Charlitta Hatch, a proud wife, married to my high school sweetheart, and a proud mom to 2 little ones. Get ready as we share jewels with each other
and you around all things connected to motherhood. Welcome back to the Behind the Throne podcast. So glad to have you back here for, I think this ends our 3rd season, Charlitta.
It's hard to believe.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you for being my partner.
Yes. And can you also believe that we are 1 year old?
That is amazing. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That's awesome.
I was just like, we need balloons, cake,
we should
confetti,
have.
something.
You slipping. That's your department.
That is my department.
That is your department.
So stay tuned.
Yes.
We may have to open up something
Yes.
where it's like more in person for us to celebrate together.
Yes.
At least 1 year old.
Yeah,
I know some of us don't believe in a 1 year old party sitting at this table.
Yeah, that's
but
me.
some of us do.
But I believe in a 1 year old cake. What I don't believe, to clarify for our wonderful audience, is to pretend that you're having a 1 year old birthday party for the 1 year old when you're really doing it for adults. So why not just have a 1 year old I made it party for adults?
Yes. Well, this would definitely be for adults.
Yes.
So I think you would be on board with this.
Yes.
One. But I thought it would be great just to talk about our journey, together throughout this whole year, having done 3 seasons, some of the things that we've learned about ourselves, learned about each other, and really just to delve into why we even decided to even do a podcast.
Yep.
So what would you actually say is the reason that you said yes to the podcast?
Well, one, because anytime Helen Hope Kimbrough asks you to do something, you just say yes. Just ignore everything that we talked about in our last episode, okay? I have to say yes because Helen said so.
Yeah.
But it was also, I thought it was a really good idea because Ellen has had a podcast before and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an interest and still continue to have an interest in really focusing on Black mothers and providing like a platform for Black mothers to talk about and share their stories, hopefully with a diverse audience, but really hearing things from a Black mother's perspective.
Yeah.
And I think with us being, on opposite ends of the motherhood journey, I felt like that was a unique proposition regardless of your race. Because I think that the things that we talk about resonate with moms that have kids from 2 to adults.
Yes. Agreed. And I think for me, it always is sometimes about content generation, like what is missing in content. Yes, I do publishing, but podcasting on a smaller scale, but I was like, I really need a partner in this, and who can partner with me? And when you said yes, I was just like relieved, grateful, thankful. And plus I thought we were going to have fun together.
And I think we have.
Yes, and we have. And we've shared, just different points of view at different perspectives just based on ages of our kids. And then also what a joy to invite our kids to come and share this space too has been so wonderful, because I think from your son's perspective, there were so many moms, and I want y'all to know Mark broke the internet, okay? That they were like, oh my God, like listen at him. Like he's so in tune with who he is. He knows it now and he can communicate that. And you could also see the love and appreciation that he has for you as his mom. I loved how he kept saying, because you're my mom. You're my mom.
I was like, go deeper. You're my mom, okay? It's enough
He's
said.
like, that's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. And then also so that moms who have younger kids can see the communication for older, children as well. Yes, I have sons, but you can probably see the same thing inside your older daughters as well, and what you hope to gain, but then also the lessons and journeys that come from that too. And so I feel like both of us also like the space of inclusivity, not just from a family perspective, but from an empowering women perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
so we've had also the opportunity to have some great people bless the mic, Kristen included, who's
Yes.
behind the scenes right now.
Yes.
Bless the microphone and just come in and talk about different things that pertain to, of course, women, but Black women, such as, mental health we've talked about. We've also
Black
talked about
maternal
Black
health.
maternal health. And then we've talked about affirmative action
Yes.
and all of that. And so I feel like we'll continue to talk about topics like that.
1,000%. And I don't think it should go unnoticed that, when you think about Proverbs 31
Mm-hmm.
and the verse that talks about her children will rise up and call her blessed.
Yeah.
I really feel like Austin and Avery gave that to you.
Ooh, thank
and
you.
I think that is beautiful. And it makes me want to listen to you even more because I could only hope that my son and my daughter will have respect for me, want to be around me, and reflect back on their childhood with such positivity, even if you think about the things that you did wrong. Like, that's not what's top of mind.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it wasn't coming to the mic to be like, let me tell you about my mama. Like, I love that. And I hope you cherish that you receive your flowers from your boys.
Thank you. And I think they appreciated it too, because I think they were like, wait now.
Dear mama.
Like, is she gonna reveal everything? And I'm like, that's not how we do things.
Yeah, that's not our place.
No, we definitely want to make certain that we empower ourselves and we empower families. And we want to show people that, too. So
yeah, I completely agree. I think when I think about just even our lessons learned, I think we've had such good synergy and energy. And I think we vibe on the similar topics and how we want to approach it. And I have just think that we would probably have to balance the data and the analytics around the numbers and people listening and is it resonating and continue to kind of just stay true to our purpose and trust God that the right people will hear the right episode at the right time, even if it's not the second that it drops. People could binge on the road, not get take in the data because it matters, but also remember our why and continue to stay true to that.
Agreed. And I definitely want people to know, both of us are in different fields respectively in consulting, but in different forms of consulting. But we both have this business background. And so I was a marketing major. I don't know what your major was.
Business management.
And so
I had to change it a lot just to graduate.
We bring that to the table as well. And so we're not just even here, bringing forth these conversations, but we are, wanting to see how things resonate. What are the analytics telling us? We want to hear from people. And I sometimes feel like we're surprised at what we hear from people. The text messages that people share. Charlitta will sometimes screenshot something to me and I'll do something vice versa to her. And I feel like eventually we have to get even that content out on our Instagram pages so that people can kind of see what is being brought up that people are sharing or that's resonating with people, because I feel like that's an opportunity that we can definitely bring forth.
And we also need y'all to not just tell us, but tell other people.
Of course.
Yeah, because we are trying to continue to grow. And if you think it is resonating with you, then it's probably resonating with someone else. So, I mean, for me, I'm still trying to figure out how to tap into that. How do we broaden it to where the people that are listening become promoters?
Yes.
And
ambassadors.
I don't know that we've cracked that nut.
Yeah, we definitely want ambassadors and advocates for it. And I think we'll get there, because even within the year, we didn't want to put so much pressure on ourselves, but we really were intentional about where are we going to take this podcast. And so Charlitta would push me in different ways. I would push her in different ways. So I do want people to know that it's the ebb and flow of that too. When they say iron sharpens iron, we're both willing to be sharpened.
Yes. Yes.
For the greater good. And so definitely that too. And I do want to just, high five Sisters on a Mission, because we finally got a sponsored show.
Yay!
And that was one of the things that we were placing, some pressure, on ourselves. And even when I tell people, they'll say, but Helen, you only been doing this, a year. I mean, sometimes it takes longer. I was like, I know, but I really felt like that was something that we needed. I mean, yes, we've been winning throughout the season, but that was definitely a win, because I feel like more sponsored opportunities will come our way just based on that.
1,000%. And I am so grateful, because the person in my house will remain nameless. That says all I like to do is just spend money, invest in all the things, and I need to make my own self a nonprofit.
So you can receive some grants. Yes. So Mark, we are working on it feverishly. So trust that. Okay. Yes.
I would also say, I think that while we have our similarities, right? Like, I mean, we've got like so many different like organizations, like whether it's like Hampton, we were in the School of Business. We just figured that out. AKA Jack and Jill. Your birthday is my anniversary. Yes. We've got these marks that are Kappas, like children's book. I think that we're still different.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And what I also think we bring to the podcast is not only our differences in our mothering, but our differences in our style and our personality. And I think that makes it resonate like for everyone.
Yes.
Right?
Agreed.
Like I'm type A. You might say you're type A, but you...
I'm more emotional and I have more feelings.
I'm more black and white, a matter of fact. You're more yoga. I'm more hit.
Yes.
But I think that gives us a good balance.
I do too.
And I think it's a good thing, and I would love to hear from our audience, is that, maybe every single episode doesn't resonate with every single person, but I think there's something for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
And they're short enough where it's like, even if you just can't stand it, you can get through it.
Yes. Agreed. And I did want to also mention that even like outside of the mic, that we've really had to be like a support system for each other. Like with our families, both of us are in the sandwich generation. So that means sometimes you may have to take care of your parents, or you are taking care of your kids. And literally, like, we are on the phones with each other, lifting each other up.
Yes.
Because we have to, or, sending like empowered word or inspirational word, so that lifts each other up too. And I don't want us to leave here so that people don't hear that part too, because I mean, I feel like in order to be a good team in front of the camera, you got to be a good team off the camera.
It's kind of like we're like the Real Housewives. Where y'all just think that this is it, but we're like real friends in real life.
Yes.
And there's stuff that you don't see. And I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, it is. And just asking questions, or, thinking about something, and even the things that I learned from you, just being here, but literally learning from you, like outside of here. I mean, go-getter, thinking, intentionally about certain things, extremely strategic, forward moving and thinking. And I'm like, girl, how can I
say more?
How can I do that? Like, I need to do more of that. And the thing is, when people say, oh, the wisdom comes in all forms and facets. And you don't always have to be an older person to possess wisdom. So, let's get that straight too. So I'm learning, by being watchful and mindful of you, knowing when you need a nudge, but also knowing when you need space, and then just checking in from time to time, because that's important too.
I receive that. And I think that, to me, you're like the truth. You're like the GOAT of all the things. Like, I just feel like everything you do is just wonderful. I just want to be a part of it. And you've just carried me along. Like, I appreciate you saying all this about me, but I think you're really the lifter upper and the one that has really brought me into all of these spaces that I've wanted to be in, from the children's books to now, and just how the way you think about things, the way you deal with people, all of like, it's just really special. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Charlitta. I appreciate that. So yeah, but I wanted us just to recap like some of this year, because I thought it was important. And I just also just want to thank every listener, every person who has decided that they were going to spend, a minute of time, 30 minutes of time, has joined us on our Instagram page, has shared it with others, have subscribed to all the platforms. Like Charlitta said, continue to do it and then share it with others because we love and need that support.
So I would like to know, what has been your most favorite episode outside of the ones that you did with your kids?
I know.
From all of the seasons.
I'll say the episode that surprised me the most.
Okay.
Let me say that one. And that literally just happened with the Moms and Daughters episode because I am a boy mom. And, there were women in that room who were willing to be vulnerable, to express themselves. There were grandmothers in the room, moms, aunts in the room, and their daughters or nieces that were there. And when you are a boy mom, you don't really get to feel that energy in the room because boys are like, oh my God, is she crying? Why is she? I don't know what to do with her. She's crying. Maybe I'll avoid and go to my room and come back and see if she's not crying. Should I hold her hand? I don't know. Should I give her a hug? Sometimes they are just awkward. They don't know what to do, like when you are expressing yourself in that way. And so I was literally sitting there in awe with my mouth open, like, is this what I'm missing? Not having the girl side of the experience from being a mom. And so that literally resonated with me so much so that I had to call my mom and just tell her how special like that was and how special it felt, because I don't normally get a chance to feel or be in that energy in a space that way and to actually see it lifted up.
I would say mine is our first episode.
Ooh.
Our very first episode when we talked about our mamas and our grandmas and our sisters. Shout out to Tracy.
Yes.
I love that episode. And I think it set the tone for every other episode that we've done to talk about where we came from and honor and give the women in our life those flowers.
Yep.
And I feel that even in the way that we show up for each other, we do that.
Yeah.
Right. And even as we've tried to like now start to share the mic and lift up other women, like I think it comes from where we come from.
Yeah.
And so when I think about Behind the Throne, I have to think about our first episode.
Yeah. I love that. And I love how both of us are talking about it from different ways. From the beginning to the ending of show.
It still was mothers and daughters.
It's still mothers and daughters. And it's still how we treat each other and how we treat women like in this space because at times we've both been treated negatively and we're really trying to say, no, we got to treat each other better and treat each other positively.
So what are you looking forward to next?
I know. Well, next, this is what I'm loving right now. I love the fact that we have so much content that we can repurpose content. Like we can literally.
You're looking forward to a break.
I'm looking forward to a break. For this summer, I mean, it won't be a long break. I still feel like we'll come back and do what we do like in season 4 around that August time frame, like we did last year. But the simple fact that we have content to repurpose to say this is what we're doing this summer, I'm looking forward to that. Another thing I'm looking forward to do, which I feel like sometimes I can be a closed book on, is there was comments about, can you share more about what Behind the Throne looks like? And I'm like, how do we do that? And so that means, I don't want to be like a paparazzi of things, but are there certain areas that we can share and do more things in that way? And then I do think people have asked about live events. And so, if there are opportunities to do more live, because I think both of us would make it rain when we do some live events. I just think it would just be so much fun to do both.
I agree.
But, and so to do not a lot of them, but definitely to do some of them as well.
I would say I'm looking forward to probably centering back to more of the like motherhood specific topics, particularly as we go into a season where, the state of education is still being threatened. People probably seeing what's happening with DEI and higher education. How is that going to impact our kids, the next generation? How does that impact the way that we mother? Does that, I think there was a time where there was a lot more teaching that Black mothers did at home around Black history and religion.
Yep.
I would say, I can't speak for all, but like for me, I feel less of that because of the schools that my kid has been in. But now I feel like, what does it look like to, teach Black history at home every week and teach it Bible study on Wednesday? Like, how does that look? There's so much going on in the country.
It is.
That's impacting
and I know
families.
We'll be talking about it too.
Impacting families, impacting our kids. We continue to hear about mental health. So we talked about it for mothers and daughters, but like, what about kids that's suffering from anxiety and committing suicide and the rates in college? And like, how do you mom through that? Like, what type of infrastructure do you put in place to where your kid knows who they are and they know they can come to you? How do you create that safe space? So I'm still on that journey. And so I'm interested in exploring that more with you because you've built such strong, solid then. And I want to do it right.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I feel like those topics, and I definitely feel like there will be some impromptu topics just like we had before, because we may hear something definitely may be politicized that we may just have to get on the microphone.
I just realized it's an election year.
It's an election year that we'll have to talk about too. And how do you parent through that and the angst through that? Because I've had, both sides of it where I've had to parent through that, and can definitely share and reflect more on that too. But also in social media and this whole AI you generate, how do we parent through that? Because I strongly believe in critical thinking, and like, okay, yes, I still need you to get the basics, and you can still use AI, but how do we help our children, continue to be mindful about how to use it from early ages all the way to adulthood?
We gotta have a whole episode
and
on that.
And you would be the first person, and you would be the person to talk to about it.
On that. Strong opinions.
Yes.
Okay, so as we close out this season, what is one thing that you want to get off your chest that you have not been able to get through?
I don't know. You go first. I can't think of it.
It will probably be around, as we talked about Black maternal health. We hit on it a little bit in the episode with Chris around the role of the fathers. I would really like to maybe do an episode focused on their role in protecting a little bit deeper.
That would be that's an excellent topic to do. And just talking about just the role of men in general. I definitely believe that we don't always have to be strong. I think what keeps resonating is from that episode with the doula when you said you deserve a soft life. What does that look like for Black women?
Yeah.
What does a soft life look like? And I've caught myself sharing and telling that to people who may be stressed on something like, you deserve a soft life. How can we work through things together? So I definitely would say we would need to explore that a little further.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And with that, season 3 is a phenomenal wrap. If you haven't listened to all the episodes, you have time to catch up. Be sure to like, follow, comment, and subscribe to Behind the Throne podcast wherever you're listening. And we'll see you in season 4.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Behind the Throne podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and comment below with your feedback. Check out future episodes from us as we discuss motherhood from babies to adults.